So we've finished the two sides. They'll need a final sanding, and now it's time to put the legs on. I've got this funky piece of wood, and I'm going to make the overall height of our table about 17 inches. So I've basically matched it up. I'm going to leave it so we can cut across here and put two flats on, and that should be it. So at this end I have a forked piece of wood, and I'm going to adjust it on here until it fits my needs, and that will become apparent as we move through this. So I have a template here which is 3-inch diameter, but anything to make a 3-inch hole, it's good. And what I'm going to do is put it on here like so, find roughly the middle of the log and draw a circle. This is where we're going to peel the log down to, and we're going to use our little jig here to just make sure that it stays even the whole way up. So what I just did was I used my chainsaw to sculpt the end down. I just came in from the end like this, and I turned it around until I brought it down to the circle, or close to the circle. A lot of times the piece of wood you're trying to peel will move around on you like this. So you can always put a zap strap, or a zip strap, or whatever they're called, on here and just tighten it, and that'll cinch it up for you. We're now going to peel the end of the log, and I'm going to use a draw knife. When you use the draw knife, you don't use it with the flat side to the wood, you use it with the curved side to the wood. This allows you to move like this, and it's got the cutting angle just right. And we're going to just peel in here and just peel it out like this to that round circle that I put at the end. So if you just take your pencil and you run it around the edge of your template and put it on, just check where it is, and when it stops it'll leave a little pencil mark where it doesn't want to go any further. What I'm doing here is I've measured about 22 inches. It was going to be a 17-inch tabletop, but with the extra I can cut this off later on, but it just makes it easier to put together without all this extra stuff. What we're going to do now is mount this first leg. Because it's a character piece, we don't have a exact center line or anything else. So I've basically balanced the piece of wood on both sides and from the end. And what I'm going to do is, when I drill the hole here, I'm going to drill the hole at an angle so it comes in like this. Maybe not quite this much, that's a little exaggerated, but somewhere around here to set it in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill my hole. I'll start her off straight, and then I'll put that little bit of an angle on it. You'll probably want to measure how deep. On this one I wanted about 2.5 inches. It's basically what we've got. Just be careful you don't come out the bottom. And hopefully our leg just fits right in there like that. So the other end of the coffee table now, what we've tried to do is get all of our curves to flow in a nice manner. So what I think we're going to do with this one is we're going to, instead of mount it like this straight up and down, we're going to put it in at an angle also, and we're also going to tip it out again so we have the angle going both ways to make it a steadier coffee table. So I've jumped ahead a little bit here. I've attached the legs in here like this, and I sanded everything on the bottom before I actually put it together, because that way it's easier to get into all the spots. So I've put my sticks back on and my table is level. So what I'm going to do now is make sure my sticks are both level. Don't have to nail those in the whole way. So after a little review, I decided that 19 inches would be better than 17 inches. So I measure up 19 inches from the tabletop. There, take my level, line across, and then take my 2 ink lines, but these could just as easily be chalk lines or bits of string. I bring it to the line that I have at the far end, wrap it around a couple of times, leave it to hang. Do this one the opposite way. That line. So I've put my 2 string lines on again. I've got one on one side of the wood and one on the other. This could just as easily be a chalk line or 2 pieces of string. And then what I'm going to do, and I've done the same at the same height at this end, and then I'm going to do as before, I'll be able to look through the line and draw myself a mark the whole way around this and this one, this leg, and hopefully at the end of it all the legs will be at the right height. I'll do that on this side and also on the other side so I get the full circle. Just like before, I just take my ruler and I connect the lines. I'm going to take my chainsaw and I'm going to cut them off where I made the mark around, and when I flip the coffee table over it should sit level. So I've cut the legs off, and now I'm just going to take my sander and, or actually grinder, and grind these flat just so they all come out the same. So what we're going to do now is a final sanding with the orbital sander, and that should conclude the project. So we've completed our coffee table. As you can see, I don't have a chair, so I'm going to have to work on that next. From David Edgley and BC Log Stair and Rail, till next time, take care. So we've completed the coffee table, as you can see.
No, I She tosses a stone.